My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection Series 80, the one and only Ricochet. And so here we have Ricochet posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Ricochet does come with his entrance vest, which does look really nice. I do like it. It does come with a hood up variant and a hood down accessory. He also comes with 2 pairs of hands. We do get a pair of grip hands, and then we get a pair of flat palmed hands. Other than that, Ricochet here doesn't come with anything else. Unfortunately, they did not include the style pose hands with this version of Ricochet, which is a little bit of a letdown. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Ricochet. And so here we have a closer look at Ricochet, and I think Mattel has done a really good job with this face sculpt. I think the Ricochet figures, they do a really good job with his face. Unfortunately, the proportions are a little bit off. Ricochet always comes off as a little bit too tall. This Ricochet here, he is a little bit shorter than the previous Elite Ricochet and the top picks, but he's still slightly on the tall side, which is a little bit unfortunate. So having a look at the face, again, I have no problems with him using this face. It looks a lot like Ricochet. I think this is probably one of their better head sculpts. And again, with the new face printing technology and with it getting better and better, it looks more and more like the character it's supposed to portray. So really do like that. One issue I do take with this figure is you can see that mine has some white and black specks right here on the face or on the head. That's not really ideal, and I did try to scratch that off, but unfortunately it looks like I'll have to take some acetone just to get that off, or do a head swap with another Ricochet, which is no problem for me. So overall, this is a really nice head sculpt. So let's actually take a look at his torso now. This is actually the first Ricochet we're having a look at on my channel. I did pass on the Elite 69 Ricochet and never found the top picks Ricochet, which I'm kind of regretting not picking up either one of those figures, just because this one does have a reoccurring issue that, ooh, it's kind of a big deal. But we'll get to that when we get to it. I really do like his tattoos right here. They did a really good job with it. Now, unfortunately, they kind of made his tattoo right here on his chest to the point where you have to have his arm out to the side. That way the tattoo is lined up properly. Ideally, it should have been applied with his arm down to his side and a little bit further down. That way it would look better in neutral. It's a little bit of a pet peeve, but that's just the way they did it, unfortunately. And then on this arm we do have the white wrist tape, so that looks really good. So having a look at the right side, you can see the tattoo right here that's done beautifully. There's so much going on and it looks really nice. I do like the detailing on it. The colors are vibrant and they pop really nicely. You can see some detailing in there as well. So overall, really do like the way his tattoos came out. Now, one issue that this particular version of Ricochet has, and it's a universal issue, his tattoo is tattooed over his wristband. That's not the way it's supposed to be. That is so annoying, and it does make having this figure a little bit of an issue, just because that tattoo comes over the wrist tape, and there's really no way to fix it, in all honesty, unless you repaint it. But yeah, that is a huge oversight by Mattel. I don't know how that managed to get through. But yeah, that is unfortunate, but again, that's how it is on all the Ricochets from Elite 80. I don't know what happened during production, if they just applied the paint in the wrong order, but yeah, that's the way it is. So I really do like the torso that they went with Ricochet. I think it's a really good representation of him. The only problem is it's a really glossy, and compared to the rest of the body, it does seem like it is mismatched. If his torso was about as flat as the rest of his body, that wouldn't be an issue. But I think part of the reason is this is a harder plastic than his arms, so it's a little bit glossy. I don't like the glossy. If they had done gloss everywhere else, I'd be fine. If it was flat everywhere else, I'd be fine. But yeah, the high gloss really does make a difference when you look at the arms. It kind of looks a little weird, to be quite honest. So having a look at his tights now. Again, this is something we've seen on all the other Elite Ricochets. They did a really good job with this crotch piece. I like the detailing here with the belt, showing that they do have a belt mold, but unfortunately it does have the lacing in the front, which I think Buddy Murphy also uses this sculpt. I could be wrong. Buddy Murphy might have his own, but yeah, I really do like it. The blues and the silvers work really nicely for this figure. They look really good, and then we do have Ricochet's emblem right there. This is a really nice looking figure, and the silver does a really good job of popping out. Then we go on to his knee pads, where we have a black knee pad and a knee pad right here that says the one and only. Now this Ricochet does have knee pads, where the other ones, they didn't include knee pads for some reason, but I really do like the fact that we do got the knee pads. And then we have standard black boots. I think ideally I would have liked to see some blue trim, and that's just going with the attire that he's wearing. Blue trim on the laces would look really nice. So there's some more blue on his boots. I think I would like this figure a little bit more, but as it stands, this is still a very solid figure. Granted, the tattoo on the wristband, that is unacceptable, but it is what it is, and that's how all the versions are, unfortunately. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a look at how Ricochet compares to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Ricochet posed next to an Ultimate Edition's Brock Lesnar and a basic Jeff Hardy. And finally, here we have the Elite 80 Ricochet posed next to the Top Picks Ricochet. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Ricochet's articulation. Now, he does have a ball joint in the head, which does let him look up and look down. He does get some really nice head tilt, so I do like that. He can turn his head left and right, no problem. Arms are on ball joints. They do go out to the side. They go all the way around, no issue there. We do have a bicep swivel, which works fine. Single bend at the elbow, giving us 90 degrees, so that works fine. We do have a swivel and hinge at the wrist. We do have an ab crunch, which unfortunately only goes that far forward and that far back. I don't know why it doesn't have better forward mobility. For a guy like Ricochet, you would expect better mobility right there, but yeah, unfortunately he just goes back about that far and forward about that far. We do have rotation at the waist. Legs do kick forward all the way to the front, no problem. Go back, out to the side. He does swivel at the thigh. Double bend at the knee, works no problem. We do have rotation at his boot. A hinge in the ankle, which is pretty tight on mine. Wow, that's a really stiff joint. I gotta put some pressure on that. I gotta loosen that up a little bit, but yeah, does have a hinge. And then we do have some rocker ankle on Ricochet. So overall, pretty good articulation, and I'm not going to complain about it. The only thing I'm going to really complain about is the tattoo on the armband. That's pretty bad, and quite honestly, and they shouldn't be making mistakes like that. Mattel has been at this for like 11 years, so yeah, this isn't something that we should accept anymore. This is something that we do have to call him out on. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Ricochet posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Ricochet posed for my final thoughts, and overall I think Mattel has done a fairly good job with this figure. Overall, I still think that Ricochet is a little bit too tall. I think he should be on a smaller body, especially with the legs. I think they could have used the smaller legs for Ricochet here. And again, I'm not a fan of the way they did the tattoo. We've been getting figures for over 10 years with Mattel, and we're still getting mistakes like this. That's a little bit unfortunate. Mattel really can't be making mistakes like this, because it is a bit of an issue when it's on every single version. I can understand if it was like a one-off, but the fact that every single Ricochet from Elite 80 has this problem just shows that a lot of mistakes were made with this particular figure. Now, I do like the fact that he does use the Buddy Murphy lower torso. It does make him a little bit shorter than his previous releases, and I think they use different thighs for this Ricochet. I hope that in the future they do give him proper thighs and make him a little bit smaller, because Ricochet isn't as tall as Jeff Hardy, and he shouldn't be anywhere near that height. So again, really do like the figure. He just has some issues that I wish Mattel would fix in the future, especially with that armband. That is something that needs to be fixed on the next release of Ricochet. Overall, I still like the way this figure came out. I wish he came with some style pose hands, but if you have another Ricochet on hand, you can take the hands from that figure and apply them to this one, and you get the exact same look. So it's really not that big of an issue that they didn't give them style pose hands, but it's something that we shouldn't have to be asking for. So with that out of the way, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other WWE videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.